And the tariffs on industrial machinery, I might also try to help Russia. So imports, the biggest category of Russian imports is basically consumer goods, although it also includes manufacturing equipment in here. Manufacturing equipment, chemicals, vehicles, plastics, and then aluminium plating, 2 plates. This is like processed metals. It's kind of weird because they export a bunch of processed metals and then they also import a bunch of processed metals. And then clothing, foods, etc. And it appears they have Russia has a trade surplus. I'm not sure what to make of that. But still, like my earlier assessment, I think is still valid, is that Trump, in trying to put up barriers on all sides, basically isolates the American economy. And whenever you're on the smaller side of the economy, it ends up badly for you. Right? Like, everybody else can just shift their imports and exports around, whereas America kinda can't. Right? Like when everybody acts against American agriculture, like they can't just shift their exports to somebody else because there's nobody else. Whereas, like, if you put tariffs on one particular thing or on one particular guy, well, you just kind of shift to a different supplier, and it doesn't really affect you. Also, I think I should, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me straighten this out. I guess it's fine, there's a step there. 2, 3, 4, and 5. That should be easier. Like that. And the thing is, a lot of the multinational corporations, because they're already multinational, they can just shift their production a little bit and they'll be fine, just like Harley Davidson we talked about earlier. Like moving the final assembly of their motorbikes from the US to Europe to avoid the European tariffs on motorbikes. Like these multinationals, they're already so used to doing business in different countries all around the world, they're completely unconcerned by all this, right? So, oh well, I just move a little bit of my manufacturing around and there you go, we just avoid the tariff. So it's always like the small companies who don't have multinational experience, they're the ones who get screwed by things like this. And the more I look at like the steel and aluminium industries, is that every country, for whatever reason, they all do steel and aluminium. Like they all produce steel and aluminium, and they all both export and import steel and aluminium products. I think it's just that they all make different stuff and then they trade with each other. And so when you put a tariff on steel and aluminium products, it means that you give up on the specialization that you already have. In order to have, you have to diversify your production to then meet the local demand for different types of steel and aluminium goods. But that reduces your efficiency because whenever you diversify, you lose economies of scale. So you're doing a lower volume stuff, and that is usually bad economics when it comes to like low tech. I mean, these days it's relatively low tech, steel and aluminium. Relatively low tech production. You don't want to lose the economies of scale, because that's what lets you do things for cheap. What's gonna happen to all the cashew farmers? What's gonna happen to all the American nuts? And by that I don't mean Trump supporters, but I mean like nut farmers. If they're getting tariffed from Canada and Europe and China, where can they sell it? Oh, it means cheaper nuts for me. Because if they're getting tariffed, that reduces demand from the rest of the world. And so, for me, in New Zealand, outside of the trade war, it means that the nut farmers have to find other customers, and they have to dump all their pistachios here. I love pistachios. So soon I'll be able to buy cheap American pistachios. The thing I wonder about most is how the Americans will react once they find out, says Wesley. Well, just what they signed up for. The thing is, if they were smart, they would already know. The fact that they have to find out means that they're not very smart, first of all. Yeah, but good question, Wesley. I mean, clearly there are enough people in America who don't know enough economics to just know that trade wars are a bad idea. I mean, there are plenty of people who know. Like, you look at any like Bloomberg or any kind of like financial outlet. I mean, all the economics guys and all the money people are telling you, no, this is a bad idea. So in a way, all the money people, like all the rich people, they already know, and they're probably already prepared too. You just like shift your investments overseas and protect yourself. What will they do when they find out? Good question, Wesley. Wouldn't Congress try to get Trump out of the Oval by now? I'm not sure they, with all the crap he's doing. The thing is, Wesley, Congress itself is filled with rich people. I mean, the average congressperson, I believe, if I remember right, is more than a millionaire. So their government, they are the money people themselves. And they are supported mostly by the money people in their election campaigns. As I said, the multinationals aren't that affected by this. Like if I was like a money guy, if I was a big investor in America, I'd just pull money out of American shares and put money into others. The thing about being rich is that you win both ends. When the economy is good, you win. When the economy is bad, you also win. Because you have enough money to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves in a disaster. The American people, though, good question. I'm wondering how long it takes, right? How long does it take for this to seriously cut back the American economic growth? Is it gonna happen like in 1 year? In 2 years? In 4 years? How long before we have noticeable recessions? Of course, when there's a recession, they all get unhappy. But they always just... Oh, yeah. Wesley says, knowing Americans, Trump is doing a second term. You know what, Wesley? I mean, I've kept this to myself, mostly, but my assumption is that if Trump gets a second term, then America is basically gone. Hi, Cody. Keep what? Keep what, Cody? Cody, keep what? If Trump gets a second term, I think the Americans are done. Like, the US is just done. China is the new superpower. Oh, Cody says keep it to myself. Okay. Cody, you gotta be specific. Anyway, it's too late, Cody. I just said it. I think the United States is done. I have 3 choices: smelly, Trumpy, or quietly. Well, you know I'm Chinese, right? So I choose Trumply. Not because he's good, but because he's bad. Although, I'm not sure the Chinese is any better. Okay, I mean, look, let me be a cultural traitor for a little while. If China, in its current form, becomes the next superpower, I'm not sure it's necessarily a good thing for the world. Where's Q? Q was here earlier. He might be investing in cranberries right now. We were looking at the tariffs, Cody, earlier. A detailed list of all the tariffs. And if you're Canadian, yeah, exactly. If you're Canadian, you should invest in cranberries. Not, no, not the band, Cody. Not the music. Actual fruit. Do you want to make money or not, Cody? Although maybe also the band. The band is also cool. But basically, Canada has put tariffs on American cranberries and maple syrup too. So if you're in the maple syrup business, you're gonna be great. Wesley says investing in the cranberries isn't that good now that the singer's passed away. It's alright, Wesley. The tariffs are gonna bring them back. I mean, free trade has killed the cranberries. But these tariffs, I'm telling you, they're gonna revive the cranberries. What were we saying before we got derailed by Cody? Yeah, no, if Trump gets a second term, we might see the end of American dominance in the world. And it will be China that takes over. World War III, you know, I'm pretty sure China doesn't want World War III. The Chinese are a little more subtle than that. It's a tiny bit more subtle than actual annihilating everybody with nukes. Although Trump might do it, like Trump is not that subtle. You're right. Yeah, yeah, okay. I wonder about World War III though. Cody says, okay, wait. Is she not a supporter of cranberries, Cody? I mean, I don't wanna be pessimistic on your relationships, but the fact that she doesn't support the cranberries is a bit dubious. Like, how are you gonna live together? Oh no! Drama! Cranberries, the fruit, are awful, say Cry For Me. I like the band though. Well, Cry For Me. Are you... You know, Trump... No, Trump didn't put tariffs. Let's see. The tariffs... Canada put tariffs on American cranberries. So I think that means you should move to Canada and be free from American cranberries. Is that what that means? I'm trying to wrap my head around these tariffs. Wesley says, it's me or the cranberries? I never heard him scream zombie that loud. She only appears when she can beat you, she's cruel. Well... I mean, it sounds like a very special relationship you have. Yeah, no, so Canada is taxing American cranberries. I don't think the tariffs mean an instant stop to all the exports of American cranberries. It would just cost more to do so. Yeah, no, but it reduces the cranberries that you have to deal with. So we'll probably be stuck with piles of rotten cranberries or sell to another country. Oh no, wait a minute. Hold on. So the tariffs were... I think Europe, Canada and China were all targeting American agriculture. Which means that the cranberries will end up somewhere else. Oh no, I have to deal with cranberries. I was saying earlier that I would get the pistachios because China, Europe and Canada are all taxing American pistachios. It's okay, I can deal with cranberries.